Hi, everybody. Okay, so why not? We actually have drama today. Woohoo! Yeah, I like me some drama sometimes because why not? I've talked about it before, but it's like most of the time it's like a flat line, and then when you get drama, it's like, oh boy, something really does happen here. Okay, so there are two interesting things I have to talk about today, for sure. And of course, I'm going to talk about other things, but I mean, the top two is that Michelle Morgan is fully on board as Amanda. Now, she was in the opening credits today, which means she's a full time, um, they're going to put her in the lead. Like, she's going to be there a lot. Um, so that's interesting. And then also, okay, so apparently, Amanda did not let go of Devon as much as she said she did because she went back to where Devon and Abby were cheating with each other on her because the storyline was, and this was a while ago, she went home to wherever she's from to check on her mother, and so Devon was in a relationship with her, had some time away from her, and then Abby and him were having a secret, tryst or whatever you want to call it at that point. Then she comes home, finds them, you know, doing grown up things, and ends the relationship. And then that's when Abby and Devon got together, and then the subsequent marriage and everything else. And so Michelle Morgan points out that, you know, I'm happy for you because you're where you're supposed to be, but I can't help but think that um, I, Chance and I were collateral damage in your path to the relationship because, you know, they both had to be cheated on for Abby and Devon to get together because at that point, Abby was still married to Chance. Although Chance, they wrote the storyline like he was away, protecting the country actually, which makes it worse. But yeah, so he was away a lot. And then they also wrote that Abby tried, Abby loved him, but she could never understand his line of work. So that's what they put as the reason for the divorce. And kind of the affair or whatever was swept under the rug. Um, okay. So then you jump from that to present day, and I can tell you that the reaction between Melissa and Michelle were like they are not friends. They are cordial at best, but even that's a stretch because the one feels like she should have been with him, and then the other one doesn't feel like she did anything wrong and she was just doing whatever. You know what I mean? So you have that weird dynamic. And then you have Devon in the middle of it. That was number one. Number two is, oh, and then also Audra. There was an interaction between Nate and Audra today, and Nate is smart. Like I said before, I like a smart man, so I appreciate that. Okay, what I'm talking about is that he always had an uneasy feeling about Audra's dealings with Victor because Victor burned her in the beginning, in the past, from the last business dealing, and he said verbatim what I was thinking, which is why would you get involved with him again after what he did to you in the past? But Audra, being the positive, have positive thinking, says, "Oh no, no, it's different this time, and I have more control, and yada yada yada." Okay, So then they're sitting there having breakfast, and Claire and Kyle walk up, and Claire and no, Kyle tries to be diplomatic and like we can be friends and like there's enough room in the cosmetics industry for both of us. And it was a bunch of yada yada yada, right? And I'm like, I don't buy it, but like it's all part of a ploy. And what's interesting is that both sides think they're winning. But then the thing is, with that kind of dynamic, somebody is going to lose. And the problem with that is also whoever the loser is going to lose big time. And I think it's going to be Audra because really Victor is using Audra to get to Kyle, number one. Number two, Audra is willing to do whatever it takes for money, for a business, and she's willing to sacrifice, obviously, truth and lies. She's willing to lie, and she's willing to skate with Nate also in the relationship and like tell half truths and all that stuff whenever it's applicable. And that's not a good scenario to be in. I'm just saying. So somebody's gonna lose being in this thing. Okay. The other thing that's interesting and nice to see is that Claire and Kyle are definitely in a relationship, and Kyle loves Claire, and you can tell because he said that she's the reason why he sees the world differently and whatever. So they're definitely together. So I like that. Like I said, I like young love. So yeah. Um, and then Lily and Damien are still good, but they're teetering on the edge. So it's going to be interesting to see if it turns into a relationship, a personal relationship or not, and whether or not she can let her guard down and when that's going to happen. So it's kind of a wait and see game on that one. Um, like I said before, I'm still waiting on uh, uh, Tracy and Ashley to come back to the Abbott house. That's what I'm waiting on. But now I think that's going to be a little bit in the future because I told you that Jack and Diane are going to go on their honeymoon pretty soon in the future too. So I don't think they're going to come to a house when no one is there. So that storyline might be on a slight back burner there. So um yeah, so it's kind of like waiting for chaos. And this is like the calm before the storm. So hold on to your chairs. All right. Bye, guys.